Hello and welcome to Wholebody by Sweettea. This is the closing of week 1. This is day 2 in my series, my 7-week series of beginning yoga asanas, teaching you individually asanas that focus on helping the mental, emotional, and physical aspects of your body, but taking it through the root chakras, the sacral, solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown, just so that you understand the physical alignment and then how it connects to mental, emotional, and the energies in terms of those who may be, wanting to know more about chakras and spiritual aspects of yoga. So, as I stated, today, day 2, I wanted to share the holistic side of things. I want to share foods that support the root chakra as I close out week 1. I hope many of you, and if not many of you, more of you, have had an opportunity to engage in lesson 1. It was an hour long. It's a lesson. I am a teacher and I teach. So I went through my introduction and I gave insights on the root chakra, how it affects us. I wanted to ensure people weren't confused in terms of spirituality versus religion, because I don't want any blockages. I don't want anyone to have any type of societal hangups or misconceptions, feeling like this is something that's not for you, whether it's physically you feeling like you can't engage in the practice or even through your belief systems. This is for everyone, okay? You take it, as I mentioned in day 1, lesson 1 rather, you take it based on your perspective, okay? So again, day 2, week 1, the root of it all. We're focused on the root chakra. I want to share some foods that help support all the imbalances that we talked about in lesson 1. If you haven't seen lesson 1, please get to my YouTube, subscribe. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell and be certain that you are tuned in, because I'm going to upload the lessons each week on YouTube. I will have just small clips on Instagram. All right. So today's focus, foods that support the root chakra. So root foods, no coincidence, support the root chakra. Okay. Foods like potatoes. So when we say root foods and potatoes, and I have a few props here, this is my sweet potato. Now, I don't eat white potato. I would not encourage white potato. In fact, I don't encourage anything white. No white rice, no white sugar, no white potato, no white flour. Why? Because that white is processed and poisonous to your body, in a nutshell, okay? It's processed and dyed. Sweet potato does not break down in your body and your system the way white potatoes do. If you eat white potatoes, I strongly encourage you to pull away from it. Begin to replace it with sweet potatoes, yams, because they're high in nutrients, the skin. They're really good as home fries. They're really good as, French fries. They're really good in casseroles. I even put sweet potatoes in my pasta as a meat substitute. I dice it up and I wash it well. I scrub it down, but I leave the skin on it. And yeah, that's what I do. Onions, a root fruit. I actually prefer red onion, but people have their preference: white, yellow, red, shallots. Tomatoes are root foods. Also, herbs, okay? Herbs such as burdock root. Now, I talked about burdock root in my videos before when we were talking about holistic health and keeping your respiratory system clean, keeping your immune system boosted. So this is loose burdock root. This is the way it looks, okay? It's in bulk. If you're like me, I'll put it in the pot as is. I don't necessarily have to strain it, but when it's bulk tea, you strain it. And you need to let that steep at least 20 to 30 minutes to get all of it. But again, like me, I pour it all in the cup and just kind of drink around the root. Also, dandelion. So this is bulk dandelion, all right? But As with both, you know, you can, if you want to just purchase a regular box of dandelion root tea, burdock root tea, they sell those. Again, I'm not trying to sell or promote a product label. I'm not getting paid, so I'm not doing that. Again, tomatoes, also root, just think root foods. Proteins support the root chakra. Now, I am not an advocate of meat eating, and in actuality, I'm like I have really pulled away from meat eating. I eat fish at this point. So I'm on, you know, it's levels to this. We are all on a journey, and that is why I asked you to join me. So for those of us who have been able to really kind of pull away from meat, but then we're kind of caught in between and we're eating, you know, we're pescatarians, focus on wild caught Alaskan sockeye salmon, which is high in protein. Again, wild caught. I do not do farm raised fish. No antibiotics, no hormones. Don't do it. I don't even trust that sustainably farmed. That's just me personally. I prefer wild caught fish, and then I don't want a bottom feeder. So right about now, I'm just sort of stuck between wild caught sockeye salmon, snapper. In a nutshell, my kids hate me because they feel like they miss their chicken and beef and turkey, and I can't do any more birds, and I can't do anything that's produced in this the meat manufacturing industry of, you know, America. So fish or meat substitutes. So another protein, awesome protein substitute are chickpeas. Oh, and I had chickpeas in the cabinet. Or garbanzo beans, chickpeas, okay? So we know a lot of our Caribbean folk and a lot of Indian dishes are prepared. Caribbean dishes are chock full of chickpeas. You know, roti, and you know, even like sometimes with the curry sauces, they still, you know, put the chickpeas in it and whatnot, and garbanzo beans and other Indian dishes, right? I personally like to make chickpea salads, and I have that on my Instagram page as well, my Sweettea Talks page. I share an awesome recipe for, it's a cold bean salad, and it's really good. Okay, with tomatoes, chickpeas, black lentils, which again, a bean. So that would be a good legume. So I'm looking at high protein legumes, garbanzo or chickpeas, lentils, all right? Honestly, I'm from the South, and our red beans and all of that, black beans, they're not the highest in protein content. So beans are beans. Beans do have proteins, but garbanzo beans have very high protein, and salmon, wild caught salmon. Also, cloves. So I have like cloves, turmeric, okay? You know, turmeric is also used. I know that is sort of not focusing, but turmeric, all right, which is used to make curry sauce. Oils, essential oils like vetiver. Now, vetiver, so you can get the spelling. Vetiver is not a cheap oil. Vetiver. It's not, and it's used in a lot of fragrances, but you definitely have to mix it down. If you're burning it, you want to use just a very little, because again, it's not a cheap oil, and it's very strong. And I suggest it being mixed. Okay, patchouli. So you want earthy scents. Vetiver, patchouli, cedarwood. Now this is a Texas cedarwood. I bought Texas cedarwood just because I'm partial to Texas, y'all. That's some home. But cedarwood, sandalwood as well. I have sandalwood incense. So these are just a few things I wanted to share with you guys that support the root chakra. Also red fruits, raspberries, red apples, beets, pomegranates, which are awesome. Beets, okay? Those things support your root chakra, ginger. Here's a piece of fresh ginger, okay? And I like to use fresh ginger in my juices. I make these homemade juices and I grate the ginger and put it in there, and it gives it a nice kick, a nice pep. And I also use ginger in my water. Okay, it stimulates your metabolism. So when I make the detox waters, I use fresh ginger. Again, that is also posted on my Sweettea Talks page on Instagram. I have a couple of posts on how I make my natural alkaline detox water. So again, I just want to share some holistic remedies, or foods rather, and herbs, fruits that support the root chakra. And please go back to day 1 of the Wholebody by Sweettea Beginning Yoga and Wellness series. It's week 1, lesson 1, or day 1, where I focus on those beginning asanas. I gave you 2 seated asanas for those of you who feel like you just can't do much of any type of movement. You can just sit and get into those asanas that I go through. And then I give a couple of asanas where you're still on the floor low to support their lower back and the lower region. We then come up into squats, okay, and how to practice the squat that helps prostate health in men, women, Kegel, opening the hips. Remember, the hips hold the bulk of your stress, and you want to begin opening up those hips and getting that movement and that lower back flowing, because we sit all day, and you want to have that hip flexor health, that blood circulation through the lower constipation area, the areas that can be constipated, the bowel area, all of that region, which is the root chakra to the base of the feet. And then we stood up, we did downward facing dog, that is a light inversion, and journey shasasana, the head to knee stretch, making certain that the lower back is pulled in, and just standing firm in Tadasana, standing strong, firm like a mountain. So please go back, view day 1, which is very in-depth. This is a quick, just day 2, herbs, foods, fruits that support the root chakra. Please share, please subscribe, because this is for health and wellness. This is the good stuff. So please share the good stuff. Same as we do other content that's just humorous or touching in other ways. I really appreciate those of you who share the health and wellness and the yoga that I am sharing with the community. Thank you so much. Come back and join me for week 2 next week, where we will be going to the next chakra to focus on, to talk about, as we work through these asanas and learn movement that supports those that chakra, beginning yoga movements that support it. And then day 2 again of week 2 will be foods, herbs, and whatnot that support the chakra. Thank you so much again for your support. Wholebody by Sweettea on Sweettea Talks, Sweettea Yoga. Thank you so much. Love yourself to health with Sweettea.